I might be a little late to the party, but I recently found out that Repitch and Vocalign are now integrated into Pro Tools through ARA. This means that the process of tuning your vocals and pitch and time aligning them to other vocals becomes way easier to do. Back in my time... Sorry, before you had to go to Audio Suite, you had to open up Vocalign, dial everything in and set everything and then render that track. But once you had rendered Vocalign, there was no way of going back into Vocalign to fine-tune something or fix something. So if there was an issue with the rendered part from Vocalign, you had to actually do everything all over again, which takes a lot of time and is very frustrating. But now what you can do is set it up through ARA, I don't know what it's called. You can basically go over here where you normally do the Melodyne stuff and all the warp stuff and everything, and there you'll find Vocalign in that menu. But now the best part is that if I close this Vocalign tab and I go to another vocal and I Vocalign that one, and now I go back to my original vocal, everything is still there. So I can actually fine-tune everything as I go. So in a minute when I'm done doing these 6 backing vocals, I can actually listen to them all and see if any of the first vocals I time aligned need any adjustments. But the first thing I want to show you is Repitch. So let's open that up, go into this menu and hit Repitch, and then you see a pitch editing software. So I can now tune this lead vocal because I want to tune the lead vocal first, and then with that tuned lead vocal I want to time align and tune the backing vocals so it has the right reference in terms of what pitch to align to, because Vocalign can not only time align but it can also pitch align. Okay, let's quickly go over Repitch. First we get the scale over here. I believe we are in B minor D major. And then you get the snap to scale over here. So now the darker blacked out notes are actually not part of the scale that you're in. That's great because with that you can pretty easily confirm if you're hitting the right note. Next to that we've got a pitch display, which we're seeing right now, and we've got a level display. So this is actual decibel levels, so you can turn your vocal up and down per phrase. Okay, let's redo that. That's over here. Okay, so let's go back to the pitch display and see how we're going to approach the tuning of this vocal. Now, this is from a vocal recording session I did. There's a full video on this here on my channel. If you want to see that, I made a video on it that you can see. It will pop up over here as well. If you want to see the in-depth video on that, it's a 3-part video series. You can find that on the Virtual Internship. If you hit the join button down below, in the Virtual Internship, you'll find an exclusive collection of very, very informative mixing and recording videos. So go check that out. If we hover over this block, which marks the note that we're in, we can see a couple of squares over here. Now, this square on the left bottom corner is the pitch drift. So if I turn this up, you can see that it shifts it a bit. It looks a bit like a tilt of the pitch. Then over here we can do the actual vibrato, so we can tone that down a little bit. I do want to keep the natural vibrato that she has, but I just want to take it down a little bit. Then we've got a level change, which is just regular level decibels up and down. And then the square on the bottom right gives you correction, and if you pull that up, it corrects it to the closest note in the scale that you've got selected over here. But of course, if you hover over it like this, you can also just drag it exactly where you need it to be. Then over here we can see that this line goes way outside of this blue block. So what I want to do is grab the split tool over here. You can also hit S on your keyboard and then you get there and then split it over here, and then you see that this should actually be more in this area. It is in between 2 notes, so let's just drag it down first and see if that sounds more natural or if it needs to go up. So I close my eyes. And if we don't think that is the way to go, but let's just confirm. That is not the way to go. So we put that back, and this one is a little bit off for my taste. So let's see if we fine tune that, if that's getting any better or worse. I think we also need to split this one so it can actually live down here. Let's see what that gives us. How can we then compensate with the pitch drift? That sounds a bit better. Now, she's an amazing vocalist. We comped all the takes already, so there is no real heavy lifting to do on her vocals, luckily, but it never hurts to do a little bit of fine-tuning here and there. We've got a draw tool over here. Maybe that can help with this. What if we... Oh, nice. Maybe I'm butchering it by doing that, but maybe that works really well. Okay, that draw tool is really nice. I wonder if we could also... Oh yeah, this is the tool I was looking for. The shaper tool. So now we can put these circles there, create those points, and actually drag everything to where we want it to go. So if I drag this, I should be able to drag this down. Why is that not going? No. That's not how you use it. That's not how you use it. Wait. This is how you use it. Create two like anchor points, and now you can use this. I wanted to do this with a string or something because that makes more sense, but I only have a $1 bill here. Don't ask me why. But basically with those two outer points, you're doing this, and now you can... That doesn't work either. You get what I'm trying to describe. I don't know if this makes more sense than just showing it over there, but basically you're fixing 2 points, and then the point in between that you can shift up and down. And with that you can manipulate the curve of the pitch. Because yes, you can draw it in, but let's face it, we're not all Picasso. So okay, for me that works. I don't really have Jacob Collier perfect pitch or anything, so sorry if that's horrible to you, but to me that works. Okay, and now we should actually be able to go to the backings over here, which are basically harmonies. Sorry, that's an inside joke. In recording sessions, I always call them harmonies, and I write it like this, $, and all the mixing engineers always text me a photo of the track names, and they say, ha 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 ha, you're so funny, harmony. Okay, maybe I should... What we can do on the harmonies is that we are selecting Vocalign over here. Yes, and then we get Vocalign, and Vocalign asks you for a guide track, a dub track, and then it gives you an output track. We've got the guide track, the lead vocal selected, and then we say capture the guide. Now you see that because Vocalign is over here and Vocalign is over there, you can see that it captured the guide, and now the waveform of the guide track, the lead vocal track, is in Vocalign. And now we select this one and we say, hey, that's the dub track. Let's capture that. What we see now is in yellow, you get the lead vocal track. In orange, you get the dub track. We know that. And then over here, you get the output track. The yellow outline you see over here is the lead vocal track. So that's really handy. Purple track you see over here is the dub track. So the first backing vocal harmony track aligned according to the lead vocal. So you can actually see with the changes that we're about to make on this side, you'll actually be able to see in real time what's happening over here and if it is aligned the way you want. And you see that the purple waveform updates. If we go super tight, does it start to sound weird?
So I close my eyes, hold my pillow tight, can't seem to find the light.
We're not hearing any weird artifacts, so that's great. That's what we want to look out for, that you don't hear the stretching or the rushing, that it just sounds natural. Then we get lowest flexibility, low flexibility, normal flexibility. I think that comes into play when you actually did a really bad job on the recording and it's really out of whack, and then you have to say like, yo, there's boundaries, because otherwise you're going to sound like and then no limit. Oh, no limit is like, if it's really off, you can set a limit to how much it allows. It might be that it just overstretches, and with this maximum shift limit you can actually say, hey, keep it within this range, then we're good. And then we get to match pitch, Machu Picchu. What's Machu Picchu again? Ah, it's a thing in Peru. Sorry, let's focus on Vocalign. If we're looking at the match pitch section over here, it might be good to go over to the show pitch tab, because now we can actually see the pitch of the two files. So we can see in yellow again the guide, and now the output or the corrected dub file in purple. So we can see that it is not exactly the same notes that she's singing, but she is singing in harmony. And then the rest of this section is pretty new to me, so I think I'm going to get the manual and then see if we can make any cheese of it, as we say in Dutch. So the first thing I want to look at is the target mode over here, because we've got nearest octave, absolute, relative, and monotone. And in the manual it says, nearest octave, this setting ensures that the output dub stays in the original range, in its original range. It should be the default setting. Okay, that's good to know. And then absolute, the algorithm does its best to match the guide and dub directly, pulling the dub's pitch to the guide as far from its original pitch. So that is what we do not want, because we are working with a harmony there, and otherwise it would just drag everything down, sound very, very pitchy, and yeah, just make it the same. And that's not what she sung, so that's not what we should be doing. Relative imposes the pitch modulation profile of the guide onto the dub. When the guide rises or falls in pitch, why didn't they call the output the gub? Okay, focused on us. Okay, so let's say if it's a fourth up from the guide, it just keeps the same distance, the same interval between the guide and the dub. So if the guide goes down, this gets pitched down by the same amount. Don't we need that right now? So let's just do nearest octave. Set it in the... Ooh, wow. Wow, that's pitching down a lot. Shouldn't we be on relative then? I think we should be on relative. See how that sounds.
So I close my eyes, hold my pillow tight, can't seem to find the light.
Okay, and how would nearest octave sound?
So I close my eyes, hold my pillow tight, can't seem to find the light.
Definitely relative. And the algorithm, what changes does the algorithm make? Oh wow, algorithm 2 was like spot on tuning.
So I close my eyes, hold my pillow tight.
Oh, wow.
So I close my eyes, hold my pillow tight.
I don't think main is going to be happy with that. Mode 2, definitely not. Mode 1 is what we just had. And then mode 3 is...
So I close my eyes, hold my...
According to the manual, mode 1 and mode 3 are most common. Over on the right side of the plugin, you can see a section where you can let Vocalign know what kind of vocals you're inputting. It's kind of similar to Autotune, where you can select the source type. What we can also do is get rid of all of that and go over here and choose some presets. So we've got slightly loose timing plus pitch match only unison. Then we've got some dialogue stuff, some instrument stuff. What I would recommend is that you first flip through the presets and then you dig into these menus to see what you can do if it is not working for you with the preset. This plugin is designed to make your life easier, so make your life easier. If all of this has gotten you excited and you want to try this for yourself, check out the link in my description below, because I can get you 20% off of all the synchro art stuff. So that's Repitch, that's Vocalign, that's Revoice. If you like this video, please leave a like down below and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. It helps me a lot, and I'll see you on the next one. Later!